Hi, welcome back to Bible Shorts with me, Jan Obridge. You know, individual snowflakes are very frail. You see snowflakes fall and they land on anything and they just disappear with the warmth. But many snowflakes together are so powerful they can stop traffic. And that reminds me how profound the truth is that Jesus prayed for in John 17. He prayed, Father, make them one, even as we are one. So Jesus prayed for unity, and he prayed for unity because it's really, really important that we have unity. See, each one of us on our own is like an individual snowflake. We can't do very much. We're limited in our power and our ability. But when a whole bunch of us come together, then things change. We can effect change. And that works in the spirit, just like it can work in the natural. Because when we come together, there's a prayer of agreement. So we set ourselves together in agreement. There's power in corporate prayer. There's power in corporate worship. There's power in all of us just coming together in one mind. How often do we struggle and try to go it alone because we think that we can cope? We want to bear it ourselves. We want to be the ones to cope ourselves. And yet God did not create us to be like that. He created us to be interdependent on one another so that we can lift one another up and support one another. You know, I'm always reminded of the sequoia trees. That's the largest trees in the world, the big redwood. And they're amazing trees, and they have this incredible root system that goes under the ground. In fact, the root system is bigger than the tree itself. And what happens with the sequoia tree is when storms come and winds come and one of the trees gets weakened, all the other trees spread their roots and wind their roots around the roots of the ailing tree and keep it standing until it can secure itself again. So that's incredible for me. That says that a whole bunch of us together can support one another. The trouble is, you see, that sometimes people let us down, and as a result of that, we draw away and we say, I can't depend on anyone else. I can't look to other people to help me. And so we become insular and isolated, and that's not God's plan for us. See, Jesus tells us that we are supposed to be interdependent. In fact, his teaching on the body of Christ, he teaches that we're all different parts of the same body. And each part is valuable and important, and there's no part of the body that isn't important. He says, can an eye say to an ear, I don't need you? No, of course not, because we all have different jobs to do. He created us to all be different. And that's why it's not good to compare yourselves with one another, because comparison is futile when we were never designed to be the same. We're all different. We all have different gifts and callings. You know, when I pastored a church, I was conscious that I didn't have all the gifts, that I didn't operate in all the gifts. And so there were people in my congregation that were much better equipped to do certain things than I was. And so, and today I understand that the gifts that we need are all within the body. And God did that. He placed them there. And so it behooves us always to recognize that there is no one person. Sometimes, you know, we're a little bit kind of hero mentality, you know, the superstar mentality, this pastor or that preacher or this minister, and we want to hold them up. Well, you know what? None of them have got 100% of everything. Nobody's got 100% of the truth. Nobody's got 100% of the gifts. Nobody's got everything. The only person that had it all was Jesus. We are all supposed to come together to support one another and enhance one another's gifts and champion one another, because that's how it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to have all of everything in one vessel. Everything we need is within that church body, and that's what we need to recognize. So why did Jesus pray for unity? Why did he feel he had to pray for unity? Because of our selfishness. We are inherently selfish people when we come to Jesus, and we have to learn to become selfless. You know, somebody once said that it's amazing what you can achieve if you don't care who gets the glory. And that's so true. It's amazing what we can see done in the body of Christ if we don't care who is the name that's put forward, who is the one that actually prayed the prayer when that person got healed, who was the one that actually gave that word of prophecy that came to pass that blessed everyone. It doesn't matter. You see, we've got to recognize that every single one of us is important in God's system. You can't stop traffic by yourself, but when a bunch of us come together, yes, we're just like those snowflakes. So we need to agree on the most important thing, that Jesus is the center. Jesus has done it all. Because of that, because we're so sometimes so selfish, we tend to be judgmental and we think other people don't have what we've got. We go into schisms and fractions and break things up in our mind. We think there's that group there, there's that faction there, there's this faction here. But you know what? Jesus is the most important thing. And if he's the number one, it doesn't matter, everything else is secondary. Jesus, if we can come together in the unity of our faith, that means the unity of knowing that Jesus is the one that died for us, that rose again from the dead, and he's the one that gives us everything that we need by his Spirit. Then everything else is secondary. It doesn't matter. The rest of it is all majoring on the minors. Jesus is the preeminent one. And if we can agree on that, then we've got some solid foundation to go forward with. So let's be like those snowflakes. Let's recognize that on our own, we're frail, but together we can stop traffic. Have an awesome week. God bless you. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.